Y'all, I have a story time for y'all. Now, this is a woman who we have heard from. I've already done a story time for her. Earlier this year, maybe a month or two ago, she gave me a story where she said that she knew that the man that she was with is not her forever dude. That she and the dude were they already understood. He was living with her, and this was a situationship. She needed him because she needed somebody to be with her children while she was in a training. He needed her because he didn't have anywhere else to stay. So this was a mutually beneficial something that was going to end because the relationship had fizzled out. She was not getting her needs met. She saw that this was not going to be a long term situation that was going to be beneficial. Well, she got through the training that she needed him for. She came back home. She saw that her home was a mess. She saw that he was huffy. She did something monumental. She graduated from this program. She did some amazing things, and he was huffy about it. This goes to show that, when people talk about just get you a man that could pay the light bill, that is not true. A lot of these people get jealous. They get jealous when you're out here doing big things. And so she's out here accomplishing big things. She's letting him stay in her home, and he's getting huffy because she had some expectations of him while she was away, and holding him accountable for what he lacked when she was gone got him in a huffy mess. Now, she she was kind of hot-headed when she was first telling me about her story. And I'm going to direct you to her page because she does have a page. A lot of people expressed interest in hearing her because she has an amazing storytelling voice. And you can find her at Darling Nikki, and I will make sure that you have her where you can find her because she is amazing and she's going to be a content creator and be able to speak. Um, she she sent me a picture, and I'm like, what is that? The picture is an sex doll. He had an sex doll in this woman's house, in her bedroom, and she didn't know about it. So she's going to tell us all of that story. That is towards the end of her story. Because I was like, what is it? She sent me a picture. I'm not going to post that picture because I am not getting any kind of strikes on my page for posting that kind of stuff. I don't know if you could post that stuff. Whatever, not my business. Just imagine me clutching some pearls. They're here, they're imaginary. So she talks about him being jealous, and this woman can talk. This woman can talk, and I absolutely love her voice. So you guys go ahead and listen to her story. I will not be coming in on the back end because she's just telling her story and how they finally did break up. They knew that they were ending, but now they are finally officially done. And just the audacity of this man to think that he was going to use her vehicle still as he's leaving her. Y'all, this story is amazing. Go ahead, jump in, listen, get you a beverage, get you a snack because it's worth it. Like, comment, share.
So we broke up, and this time it's for good. And as usual, he never ever actually breaks up with me. He just decides to be a whole bitch and just have an attitude, start texting people, and just like walk out on me. So he did this again. And then after he left me, he said, I'll be back later. I'll be back in the morning to get my things. And I'm like, oh, no, sir, you will not. I will never be your soft place to land again. I'm sick of this shit from you. Like, to me, his whole attitude and everything we were even fighting about, like, I've been gone for 7 weeks. I just got home, and this is my welcome home. I'm coming home to a filthy house, to just chaos, and to you with your nasty attitude, because the first thing I want to do is get my house in order and clean. Like, so right in the middle of our argument, he keeps saying stuff like, I'm sick of you using all these goddamn Derek Jackson terms on me, always saying gaslighted this and vibration that. Like, he hates that shit. And I'm saying to him, okay, maybe you hate this stuff because you don't understand it and you don't want to learn it. And this nigga yelled at me, and it was like a tantrum. Like, I literally could see him stomping his toes and balling his fist like a toddler. And he goes, and it was completely like he couldn't even control this shit. Like, it was a movie scene. He goes, I I don't have to learn a goddamn thing. And he stopped himself before he said thing. And I said, nope, don't stop yourself. That's your one time actually telling me your truth. That sums it up right there. That's the totality of our problem, is just that. I don't have to learn a goddamn thing. It was like I was talking to a 45-year-old toddler in that moment. I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna try to leave it there because I know I can go. And plus I'm gonna have a whole Zoom about this shit. But like, honestly, like, that was it. That was the totality. That was the summary or the summation of our entire relationship, was when he darn near stomped his foot. He did ball up his fist, arms and shoulders hunched up like a toddler, and he yelled at me. And it was so spontaneous, he couldn't even control it. It was an emotional outburst. It was a bitch moment. Because I said, maybe you hate these words and you hate this terminology because you don't understand and you don't want to learn. And he just, I don't have to learn a goddamn thing. And when he said goddamn, he stopped because, he stopped himself because, that was a moment of him losing control and just telling his truth. Because usually he's real quiet, and he thinks that because he's quiet, I can't see the fire in his eyes, and I can't see the hatred and the resentment and everything else behind his eyes and the anger that's there that he won't tell the truth about. He got some real big mommy issues, and I really think that he's trying to punish his mother by being with me and treating me the way that he wishes he could treat his mother. I really believe that. I do. But you know what? I'm done. I'm free. I'm free from it. I don't know how I'm going to be supported in this new career. I don't know how things will be in alignment, but I know it will be. So it is what it is. But we broke up. Like, in the middle of the argument, he said, why are you still talking? I thought we were done talking about this. And typically when he gets like this to this point, he's like usually like trying to be supportive and everything else, but it's not because he wants to, it's because he's a homosexual. So all this time he's been putting up with me and putting up with my kids. And I've been very aware of this. I have been, just so that he could have stability and everything else that I provide. And he knew that in exchange, I needed some support. I needed somebody here to basically keep my kids alive and keep the house, decent. And I guess seeing me, I don't know. I feel like seeing me graduate and the Christmas that was here with him, I was on Zoom, of course, because I was still going in training. But I think that Christmas with him and my kids and his kids, and then we had a second Christmas when I came home, and him seeing me graduate, I think that was it for him. I think he couldn't handle all of that. And then also the fact that, I take good care of my kids for Christmas. Just because I'm a single mother and my money is not where I want it to be doesn't mean my kids got to suffer because I'm still trying to make it. Like, there's so many resources, and I would try to get him to do the same thing. When I tell you his kids, like, there's no way them kids were not sad. I got them a gift from me and my kids. I always do that. And I always get them a nice gift. And aside from the nice gift I got his kids, they didn't get shit. They got a pair of sneakers. They got a sweater, and some cheap ass shit from Five Below, like a cheap ass like bracelet set and a basketball. That's all he did for his kids. Mind you, my kids got TVs and it's not about the money, but it's about the effort. It's about the effort. My kids they made a list, and they got the majority of the things on their list. They got good quality stuff. Like I got my oldest daughter her first diamond set. I found it on clearance somewhere. Madison wanted her first, she wanted an American Girl doll. Them things ain't cheap, but I figure it out. I make a way out of no way. And he kept complaining about how it's over 120 gifts here. Well, it's 6 kids. I got 4 and you got 2. It's like he hated it. He hated how I took care of my kids. And I've been telling him for a couple of weeks, don't have your kids sitting there looking crazy and sad because you don't want to show up for your kids the way I show up for mine. Your kids are going to be at my house this Christmas, and you know how I do for my kids. He didn't want to hear me. Kids looking crazy. And he got an attitude with me about it. He didn't say nothing about it, but I know that's why he behaved the way he did and why he walked out on me later on that night. So what sparked the final straw for him, I guess, is because I was in the kitchen talking to his daughter and my girls. And his daughter was like, she was down on herself about her skin issues. And I was telling her, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that, you're a goddess. You need to be getting hugs and kisses. Make sure your brother and your father should be hugging and kissing you and, putting you on the pedestal where you belong. And as I'm saying this, I'm looking at him. She don't see this, but I'm watching him. He is upset. He is fuming at what I'm saying. He's making faces, rolling his eyes, and he couldn't take it no more. Just like the very first thing that I sent you, the way that we connected the first time is because I was listening to one of your videos that was empowering to females, and it pissed him off so bad he left the room. And I texted my girl about it. And that was the very first video you made of this stuff. It was the same thing again. He was so pissed off at what I was saying to his daughter, he left the room. So as he was leaving, I tried to call him back, and I was like, hey, I said, this is a good time for you to join me right now. I said, I'm gassing your daughter up. He ignored me, and he kept going, yo. And then when he realized how much of an a-hole he looked like, then he came back downstairs and he tried to flip it on me. And he said to his daughter and my kids, he said it to me and to them, I don't mind telling my daughter she's beautiful, but I'm not going to sit here and let you manipulate me into saying some things to her that I don't feel like saying. This is what he said to everybody. So then his daughter, she's 11 and she thinks she's grown, and she's always in a grown person's place because nobody puts that little girl in her place. She starts crying because now me and him are arguing. And then this little girl got in my face and started trying to defend her father. That's my father and the way you treat him. So when that happened, my two oldest daughters, my 11 and 18-year-old, were looking at her like, girl, you about to get your ass beat. You need to get up out my mama's face. You about to get your ass beat. But I didn't do it. I've come a long way. So my oldest daughter was like, you need to stand down and you need to stay. You're not you're not an adult. You have no idea what you're talking about. And my daughter, like, she's a psychology major. So she was like saying to her, I know you really think that you're right and you really feel like you need to defend your father. But number one, this is not your place and not your business. And she was like, they shouldn't have had this argument in front of you. And she's right. As soon as he started that mess in front of them, I should have been the one to shut it down and say, we're not going to keep doing this in front of them. And I didn't, because I was really heated. And so my oldest daughter was saying to her, you think you know, but you have no idea. You don't know what you're looking at right now. And years later, you're going to look back on these moments and you're going to really understand it. But right now you don't. So stand down and get up on mama's face for she hurt you. So we went upstairs and we just like I went upstairs with the intent of trying to understand why he was so upset and why he called me a manipulator in front of them and why he tried to make it a bad thing. I'm like, how is it a bad thing that I'm asking you to join me in gassing your daughter up? And he was like, you called me out. You put me on the spot. So I'm saying to him, okay, what's your definition of call out? What's your definition of put me on the spot? And when I say these things, what's your definition of, he starts getting like enraged and saying, you weaponize your words. You use your words as a weapon. You're so into being literal and semantics and all that stuff. And I'm like, so what you're saying is you're angry with me because I'm trying to get clarity in our communication? Like, no matter what I say, it just keeps pissing him off more and more and more. And then he'll be like, you're always using these Derek Jackson terms. And I'm like, so what you're saying to me right now is you think Derek Jackson is the one that came up with these, clinical and these educational terminology. And is that what you think? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it just was going nowhere. So we're having at it and we're rehashing a lot of old things that have never been resolved. And he keeps saying, that's your problem. You don't know how to let anything go. That's how you solve problems, by just letting it go. And I said, the totality of your life right now is literally the manifestation of what you're saying right now, that you really think that the key to life is letting things go. I said, you let everything go, which is why you're homeless right now. You're in my house. I said, which is why all your utility bills are still thousands of dollars, because you keep letting things go and you don't handle anything. I said, either you handle life or life handles you. And when I say these things, he gets mad because he thinks I'm sunning him. And I'm like, no, you're sunning yourself. We got 4 vehicles and you broke down both of your cars and one of my cars. Why? Because you keep letting things go instead of handling it. And that was it for him. He was done with me, honey. He was done with me. Like, basically, and I feel like he tried to humble me for the last time by basically telling me, shut up. Why are we still talking? We have nothing left to talk about. We're never going to get along. We're never going to agree about anything. And he starts texting people. And I'm like, what are you doing? I said, so can you at least can you for once make a decision? So I'm like, can you for once make a decision? And can you for once actually say to my face and say out loud and admit to yourself and to me that you're actually breaking up with me and that you're about to walk out on me? I said, and furthermore, you know that I've got this 6 months that we already agreed that we weren't going to be together, but you keep doing this back and forth and thing. I thought that we were just going to be friends because, until you save money and get your options together, the agreement was you were going to be here and you were going to take care of domestic responsibilities and be the sitter that you're getting paid to be, mind you, so I can get through my 6 months probation. But what you're doing, it seems like, is saying basically F you, F your career and everything else because I'm mad at you because of the way I communicate. And he would not answer me. When it comes down to him actually having to face the truth, make a decision, call a thing, that's when he completely shuts me out the worst and will just stop answering me. So now he's texting and packing up all his stuff. And I said, okay, so since you're packing up your things, what you're telling me without telling me is that you're done. And if that's what it is, then fine, that's what it's going to be. You're done and we're done. Are you moving out? He would not answer me. He finally said to me, I'm texting my sister to see if I can go stay with her. So I don't know yet. I'm like, wow, this dude really just said to me, bitch, I'm done with you, but hold my stuff. Keep being a soft place for me to land. That's what he said to me. Again, there's just ain't enough grace in the world. I had grace because of his 2 kids. Like, I'm done. Like, something kind of in me just said, you know what? God will provide, girl. Stop operating in fear. You've come so far. And this is your final test when it comes to men. This is your final test. Just pass it. Just pass it. Let it go. Let it go. You don't need nothing. Just let it go. So he didn't even say goodbye to me. His kids, his ex-wife came, and we've been together all this time, and she has never come to my house ever. She came to my property and she pulled up outside the gate. I saw her vehicle, and probably because he was supposed to take his kids back home to her house today. And so without her coming to get her kids, he probably wouldn't have. Oh, yeah, because I said to him, I know you leaving my car keys, right? You're not taking my van to do whatever you got to do. And when I said that, girl, his face just dropped. Like, you really think you leaving me and you going to take my van to do it? So I saw her pull up. She's never had anything to do with me, which is weird because she hates him so much. But she also hates me. And it's like, I take good care of your kids, girl. I send groceries to your house. Like, your kids never had half of the stuff that they had or the experiences they ever had until he got with me. Like, I'm hella good to your kids because I'm hella good to my own kids. So I'm also going to be good to them. She has never, ever, ever even given me a hello. She has always been so nasty to me. And for what? For what? We both got the same nigga. I am not the enemy. And I have tried with her. But anyway, she pulled up to my property. She stayed outside the gate and the kids went and got in the car with her. And he packed up a couple little things. And as he's walking out the door, I said bye to him twice. He said nothing. So then I got loud with it. And I said bye. And he was like, he just looked at me and was like, bye. Oh, no, he said bye for now. But, I'm not done. And I didn't say anything else. So after he left, he texted me, I'll be back in the morning to get my stuff. Oh, no, sir. So after he left, the cowardly lion sends me a text saying I'll come back for my stuff in the morning. And then the rest of the messages were basically tomorrow, in the morning or whenever I can come get it. Oh, no, sir, we will not. No, sir, you will not. All of your things will be outside right now. So as I'm getting all of his stuff and gathering it, there's this box that's so heavy. Like, real, I cannot move it. And I'm like, is it a dead body in here? What? And that's what it was. It was his girlfriend. It was his preference. And it was so poetic to me when I saw it. I'm like, I get it. That is his preference. He would much rather be. And there's a whole psychology behind men that use those toys, those sex toys. And Jeffrey Dahmer used one of those as well. So, you know what? Maybe God was like, I feel like my ancestors were saying, girl, this is the direction that was going to keep going in. Something that was just going to be bad for you and your kids. Let it go. Let it go. Because you fumbled a woman like me, and I'm a bad chick. I know I am. I'm intelligent. I look good. I stay fit. I take really good. I set my kids up good. I have a great career. I got 2 of them. I got a great career and a business. You see how ambitious I am. I can't tell you over during the year of the pandemic, I single-handedly put almost $20,000 in that dude's hand by my mind, by me finding stuff and applying for stuff. And none of it was fraud either. It was all legit stuff. Like, so I set him out. He basically had got another mother. So, seeing that little sex doll toy thing was like so poetic to me because like you've had this in my room, like you have me, but you have that because that's his preference. His preference is like one of the first things he ever said to me when I said, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want in a woman? And that has never changed for him. A cute face, a tight waist, and somebody that I could have peace and no drama with and we can go have fun. He wants no responsibility. He wants no. It's like pulling teeth trying to get him to be my friend and have a conversation with me because he don't want that. He wants that doll. He wants you to just be there and shut up and be there for his gratification, and that's that. Isn't that most ex-wives? God. Okay, I'm going to leave it here because I got to... When I tell you my house is so filthy, like I came home to a filthy house. I'm going to have to order a cleaning service, and I have so much work to do. Like I just got home. and I should be relaxing, but my house is so filthy, like every room, everything. And my kids have been so undisciplined all this time. I got to spend all this time getting my house back together. My gosh.